Dr. Darren Weissman.
Dude, it's so great to be here with you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
You're not just a doctor. You're not the average doctor. You're a chiropractor. You're a healer, a metaphysician. And your goal in life has become that you want to create world peace through inner peace. Because the journey starts within. And a courageous man wants to change the world. But a wise man starts with himself.
Yeah.
And you're the creator of the LifeLine Technique. Why don't you tell everybody what the LifeLine Technique actually is?
Well, first and foremost, I would say, brother, that I'm not the creator of it. It existed before I witnessed it. I'm the developer of it, and I founded it. But the system was there. We just didn't have the consciousness to be aware that there is an integration of different philosophies and sciences and technologies that come together that allow people to change their consciousness. And when people are capable of changing their consciousness, they're ultimately capable of connecting within themselves, with other people, nature, life differently. Wayne Dyer said it.
Yeah.
Change the way you view things, the things that you view begin to change. So the LifeLine Technique is a system that allows us to shift from a reactive, fear-based way of thinking and feeling and behaving to love, to be able to focus where we're going versus what we want to avoid or make go away or pretend isn't going on. It allows us to tap into this simple yet profound vibration that exists within each and every one of us, which is love.
Right. And so in creating this and seeing patients, what kind of patients and what kind of people actually seek your help?
Well, I mean, once again, I don't even call it patients. I don't work with patients. I work with clients.
Right.
Because the Lifeline isn't about treating disease. It's about raising consciousness. You raise the vibration, the frequency of the energy of the mind. The body changes, the behavior changes, the relationship, the attractor field changes.
Right.
So what kind of people do I work with? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, whether it be an animal or whether it be a child or whether it be someone who is on their deathbed, someone who's going through mental challenges, addiction, all kinds of things. It's not even about it. There's a specific lens that is the foundation of LifeLine. And that is that when you're in pain, physical, emotional, spiritual, no matter what it is, that instead of that being the problem that we're here to fix or fight or figure out, hey, if you can fix something, fix it. Like you built your motorcycle out there. That's incredible, right? It's incredible. But it's not, LifeLine isn't about fixing anything. It's not about fighting anything. Hey, there's a time to fight. But this system is a feedback. It allows us to understand the mechanism of conversation that goes on ourselves and, unique things that we're aware of within ourselves or behaviors that we don't like about ourselves, that we judge about ourselves, that we judge about other people. It looks at life as what I like to call a portal. And that portal it's a doorway.
Right.
And the doorway is into the dormant greatness that exists within each and every one of us.
So we have different portals, right? Because that's all challenging situations are.
Yeah.
Right?
Right on.
Health challenges, financial struggles, relationship struggles are all just portals.
Yeah.
Right? It's your judgment that perceives it in a negative way, right? That's why I call it the love language of the universe.
Yeah.
You just were never taught how to interpret that language.
Yeah.
So in understanding that the pain, fears, and challenges of life are these gifts, the strange wrapping paper as you coined it.
Yeah.
Right? And I stole it. I use it all the time.
There you go.
But through that, you raise your consciousness.
Yeah.
And as you raise your consciousness, we change the energy flow through our bodies.
Yeah.
So in that, there becomes healing. And what are you actually impacting? Because people don't just come to you with their health issues.
Right.
Right? They come to you for every aspect of their life, whatever struggle it is.
Yeah.
So what other types of challenging situations do you see with your clients?
We'll just talk about Friday. I started with a client who was recently diagnosed with lymphoma. And so, okay, there's the diagnosis. people with diabetes, people with
Yeah.
Does it once again? It's not about that. It's about a vibrational frequency.
Right.
It's a vibrational frequency.
Right.
Working with a couple, and one of the partners is just like, you know what? I need space. I need space, and so helping them navigate it consciously. Not as therapy. It's not therapy. It's not to fix people once again. It's about tapping into the unconscious, subconscious programs of the mind.
Right.
Our body is a reflection of our mind. Most of our mind is a blind spot, is invisible. And when those invisible programs, they're just simply memories that haven't been processed yet, when they get triggered by our external environment, when they get triggered, we react. And our reaction is powerful. Our reaction is biological, it's behavioral, it is a gravity. We start a law of attraction from a subconscious perspective. We start to attract the same vibrational frequency. So different face, different name, but it's the same pattern. It goes on. And at the core of it, Steve, is this like these memories that live within all of us. Now, it might be a memory that you had when you were a 3-year-old little boy, or while you were in your mother's womb, or the moment you were conceived. It could be a generational pattern.
Right.
8 generations down your mom or dad's side. It could be a past life.
Right.
That is activated, and when it gets triggered, all of a sudden, I'll just use the body for an example.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the body gets kicked into 1812.
Yeah.
15-year-old boy. I mean, through the process of LifeLine, we can find out with specificity what it is as far as what the memory. And when that gets triggered, now I'm in my body here. I'm 56 years young. I get triggered, but now I'm a 15-year-old boy from the year 1812. What? And when that happens, my body biologically is not present. It's not in the here and now. It's reacting from a there and then. Now, the significance of this is that the brain and the body aren't designed to know the difference between a memory, reality, or imagination. So we're triggered, and now my body's maladapting. It's not adapting. The body's intelligently designed to heal.
Right.
Every cell.
Right.
So you take that, let me just run with this for a second. We take that from a behavioral point of view, right? From a behavioral point of view, and I'm being triggered from some memory that has not been processed. And whatever imprint, whatever condition that memory represents, whatever emotional Groundhog Day that represents, when that gets triggered, a whole behavioral cascade is set in motion.
Right.
And now I'm a child.
Yeah.
Now I'm an avoider.
Yeah.
Now I'm pleasing and proving and doing more to survive. I'm in a survival. I'm in a freeze, fright, flight, fight mode.
Right.
And I'm in that. I'm in it.
So I want you to explain the triune brain, right?
Okay.
Because we got the hippocampus, right, which is the memory. We have the amygdala, which is the emotion of the memory, right? And then what happens now is we have that internalized engram now in the brain, and our body's going to fight or flight, and our hypothalamus controls our autonomic function. It's all tied in. It's all based upon survival. So these diseases that manifest these painful situations we're attracting because our thoughts warp the time-space continuum, drawing our experiences in. So I want you to explain a little bit more in detail the reaction of events that occurs with that triune brain, the connection to the universe, and how these are all symptoms.
Sure. Paul MacLean was the developer and the designer of the triune brain theory. And he saw this noggin of ours, this singular brain, as 3 separate brains. And there's 3 separate brains. They each have their own biological, behavioral, they have their own level of consciousness. Now, the only part of our brain that is conscious, that has choice, is our prefrontal cortex. That part is logical, that part's creative, that part is imaginative, that part is the executive aspect that is a great leader.
Yeah.
Then we have that limbic brain, that amygdala, hippocampus, the accumbens, all these unique aspects where memory and emotion and feeding, sexual desire are driven from. That aspect is not conscious. That aspect is subconscious. Now, what does that mean? that means there's no choice with it. That means it's purely reactive. So when we're triggered into a reactive limbic state, it's like a man seeing a woman, boom, all of a sudden it's a reactive state. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
That has healthy components to it. Like, hey, I'm feeling this aspect where, I'm hungry, I need nourishment for my body. These are limbically driven patterns. From that signals the other part of the brain, which is a separate part of the brain. It's ultimately primitive.
Yeah.
The reptilian. It is a dinosaur. The dinosaurs are not extinct. They are part of the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, cerebellum. And so in that aspect, I will be that aspect of the reptilian brain. Once the limbic, emotional brain gets triggered, it sends a signal to the reptilian brain, and now the heart can adapt, the lungs can adapt, the digestion can adapt, the cellular physiology can then do its job. That's fantastic. As a human being, what makes us unique is that we've got this part, the neocortex. Mm-hmm. And unless that limbic reptilian goes to the neocortex, we're being driven by the neural network, the synaptic neural network is being driven by these memories, these emotionally charged memories that are keeping us in this limbic reptilian holding pattern. And that's what happens. That's the psychoneuroimmunological aspect of our system, is that it gets kicked in and now we're just cycling in that. And so all of a sudden, okay, now we're in that limbic reptilian holding pattern. We're in pain. We're in pain physically, emotionally. Our life is in this reactive. We're in the freeze, fight, flight, or fight mode. And at some point, we wake up and we're like, ouch. Right? It's an automatic reflexive. Like, I want to avoid that. And the wild part about it is when we're in a limbic reptilian pattern, in this triune brain experience, when we're in it, the essence of the pain isn't going on right now. I'm looking for the tiger. I'm looking for the person that is going to hurt me, but it isn't. All it takes is Pavlovian. All it takes is a color, a sound, a smell, a taste, a touch, a feel. Boom.
Right.
Now I'm biologically, behaviorally reacting. As if I'm in that mode, and it's a neural network.
And it doesn't matter.
Whether
it is happening for real or you're thinking about it.
The brain and body don't know the difference.
Right. It's just running a pattern.
It's just running a pattern. It is a program, like a computer.
Right.
That, people are watching us right now. They're watching us through their technology. It's a program.
Yeah. Whether it be the immune system, whether it be the circulatory system, whether it be the respiratory system, every function is controlled by this process. From
a physical perspective or from a level of emotional consciousness, can I accept this moment? Can I be compassionate? Can I be forgiving? Can I be, ultimately, this is what it's about, grateful?
Yeah.
Can I be grateful for what's going on here? And when we're in this limbic reptilian mode, that is shut off. And now we're in a world of denial. Now we're in a world of disconnection. Now we're in a world of loss and brokenness. And we're surviving. Yep. And that survival mode's fantastic for a 50-yard dash, but not for the evolutionary journey of awakening. Right. It's not for the marathon of life that needs to just turn on and off. But so, the essence of, we bridge it back. And LifeLine allows us to process those memories that are triggering the maladaptive limbic reptilian holding patterns reactions. It allows us to access that memory, harmonize it with a higher vibration, and entrain that vibration and bring it to the neocortex. And when it reaches that place, now we have a different perspective. Right. Now we're seeing it, feeling it, hearing. Now we have a choice.
Right.
Now we have a choice. We do not have a choice what happens. We have a choice in how we respond. When we live in a problem-based world. Yeah. We live in a problem-based world. We are fighting, we're fixing, we're all fucked up. We're just in this place. It's so intense. When we're in it. And it's humbling for the best of us. The anxieties, the fears, the frustrations, the angers, the worries, the sadness, the overwhelm, all of these things, when we're in it, we're in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to me, the biggest journey is
mind-heart coherence.
That's it.
Being able to have a choice.
Getting into the heart is oftentimes easier said than done.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is when we work through these limbic responses, they deal with the lower dimensional chakras, right? So they deal with the solar plexus, they're dealing with the root chakra, right? But we want to stay in our hearts. So the lower dimensional energies actually suppress our adrenals, they tax us. We want to stay here. When we stay here and we are mind-heart coherence, there's this energy that occurs. And what happens is the heart opens and the universe, through the crown chakra, gives us the intuition. Then, once we have the intuition, the third eye, now we act, speak, and move in the ways of love, which change the entire dynamic of everything occurring around you. And through that, we get better choices.
Yeah.
I really think that we are creating all of our experiences.
Yeah.
And there's just lessons.
Well,
right?
we're creating all our experiences in this realm, in this dimension.
Yes.
We're not conscious that we're creating it. The aspect of what's creating it is beyond what we're even aware of. We're just caught in this 2D, 3D realm, and we don't even realize, wait a second, we're all one. Everything, everyone right now is one vibrational frequency.
Yeah.
And the micro, macro aspects of the universe in the metaverse are all integrated as one for sure. I want to circle the dragon here.
Yeah.
I want to circle the dragon in the essence of, these lower vibrational chakras. Every chakra has the potential to be a part of a maladaptive stress reaction. Every chakra.
Yeah.
From the root to the crown, from the base essence of being the physical body to being in a state of our relationship with the divine and the energy of oneness. They all have that ability. And so when these patterns get triggered and we're in pain, to me, what I do in helping people to begin the process of ultimately detoxifying their mind, because just like we detoxify our body or detoxify our environment, we got to detoxify that field of energy called our mind. There's a process that is much simpler than we make things out. We live in a world of extravagant cures, and there's a lot of, like you're one of them, there's a lot of smarty pants people in the world. There's a lot of really intelligent people in the world and that understand just the nuances and the essence of things. Yet there's an aspect of healing that is really simple. Yeah. It's simple. Not always so easy, but it's simple. Right. Like a snowflake. It's H2O, but everyone's uniquely different. Yeah. So just like everyone's pain is unique to them, everyone's suffering is unique to them, there's an aspect of learning how to be present. Like, what the hell does that even mean, to be present? Right. What does it really mean to be present? There's an aspect of bringing people into present time consciousness. There's an aspect of understanding how to observe. Like, here we are. Yeah. What does it mean to really observe? And it's happening naturally. How long have we known each other? Oh, over 20 years. It's amazing. It is. Yeah. It's amazing. So yeah, it's so fun. So we're naturally curious. We're naturally compassionate. We have a friendship. We have a respect for one another. As a result, we don't talk for months at a time, years at a time sometimes, and it's just like we just pick up where we left off. Boom. It's such a beautiful thing. Right. And the essence of observation, like, what does it mean to be able to observe oneself or one's life or one's relationship as a student? Like, I'm always learning from my body. My body is giving me a reflection of something. So I've been diagnosed with a disease. I've got this blood study that comes back in this way. I've got this pain in my elbow, whatever it might be. There's a conversation. What does it mean to join the conversation? So we observe. We observe with curiosity, with compassion. We've got to be honest. The subconscious mind knows when we're bullshitting. Yeah. You can't bullshit your subconscious mind. Right? So as soon as you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to pretend that that's not going on. Your body speaks in symptoms. Right. It's language. It's only like the liver only knows how to speak the way the liver speaks. The heart only knows how to speak. The blood knows how to speak the blood it speaks. So when those aspects get triggered, And it's all tied in with the chakras. It's all tied in with the meridian. It's all tied in with this aspect that we can, uncover through a magnetic resonance imaging. There's a whole aspect of tapping into the electromagnetic vibrational frequencies of our cellular memory.
Here, I want you to explain how we change the electromagnetic field or that flow of energy through our bodies, because it's a unique sequence that you use where you hold the I love you sequence.
Yeah, well, for sure. I was going there in that where you're going is direct.
Yes.
And it's, let's go there.
Okay.
Let's go there. So I'm going to time travel to 1998. 1998, I'm in Buffalo Grove, Illinois.
Yeah.
Full day of working with clients, and my cousin, Rob Morgan, is interning with me. He is the first deaf chiropractor to graduate from the Palmer College of Chiropractic in Davenport, Iowa, and which is the first chiropractic school. And he goes to me at the end of the day. He goes like this.
You hadn't even heard about Dr. Masaru Emoto yet.
Well, let me get there, but I really want to sit in this. I really want to sit in this. I really want to feel this. I really want to connect to this. He went like this, and I felt something, and I didn't know what it was because I don't speak sign language, but I felt something that felt really good. I said, Rob, what is that? He goes, I love you. And I'm like, what? He goes, I love you. I'm like, wow. So I do, one of the things that I do as a holistically trained chiropractor is I do kinesiology. I do muscle reflex testing, a way of having a relationship with the automatic nervous system. And I found a reflex on his system that gave way. And I went, I love you. And the reflex instantly got strong. And I had a moment of literally freaking out where I'm like, oh my God, I love to adjust people. I love to stick needles in people. I love to use homeopathy, different kinds of things that are there's a physical interaction. I just literally energetically went, I love you. And the reflex, which is controlled by the brain, and the brain controls everything, the reflex instantly got strong. I was like, holy shit, what is that? So the wild part was the next day, everyone who's coming in, I'm going, I love you to them. They're like, what's wrong with you, D? What's wrong with you? Dr. D, what is going on with you? And then I realized, wow, it's not about my love.
Yeah.
It is, and then I realized it's about infinite love and gratitude. Mm-hmm. Gratitude is love in action. So I used this mudra and I said, infinite love and gratitude, and reflex points that were associated with organs and glands and systems, people that are in a mental state of reaction and fear and anxiety and worry and doubt and inner critic that's being a real jerk to ourselves, whatever it may be. Infinite love and gratitude is creating a shift.
Yeah.
2 years later, so now it's 2000, a client of mine, Greg Kinney says, if anyone is going to appreciate this work, it's going to be you. And he sent me Dr. Masaru Emoto's work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, now I understand why I love you, and love and gratitude is making a difference because he did research on water.
Yeah. And it changes the molecular structure of the water.
Yeah.
The frequency of love changes the structure of water. And your body is 85 to 90% water. Right. So it changes the electron flow. Right. Changes the electron flow. It changes the entire fabric of the universe. It's not even just our bodies.
So check it out.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just do it for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Elbow in. Hold strong. I mean, check out his freaking guns. Right? Hold strong. So we got a lockout.
Right.
Right. And just say love.
Love. So
there's an energy. Love.
Yes. Love.
Say the word fear.
Fear.
Hold strong.
Yeah.
Hold strong.
Yeah.
Hold strong. I could never beat this guy in arm wrestling. Yeah. Right? Love. Instantly locked down.
Right.
So here we are, where we can utilize kinesiology, muscle testing, to evaluate the autonomic, limbic, reptilian reactions to the emotional part of the brain. And through a sequence, which is the LifeLine Technique, a step-by-step process, a 16-step process. It's like Bikram yoga for the mind.
Yeah.
It enables us to bring that to the neocortex, which gives us, as you said, free will. It gives us choice and how we respond versus react. Most people, brother, as you know, are living a life of reacting to reactions. Survival. And what does it mean to respond? What does it mean to respond versus react? And a play on words, but the ability to respond is about taking responsibility for one's life. And that's the ability to respond is about taking responsibility for one's life. So when we talk about world peace or inner peace, do I want to heal the world? No, I don't want to heal the world. It's not about healing the world. I mean, the world's going to do its own thing. I mean, people got to do their own thing. But if I can make an impact in one person's life, then that's phenomenal. So I started with myself. Yeah. I definitely did. And the LifeLine Technique absolutely saved my life. Absolutely did that. And I'm grateful as a result of my life's work that I've been able to help thousands of people in the world with this technology that ultimately is reproducible. It's teachable.
Yeah. So there's a quote by Nelson Mandela that you always use.
Yeah. It's not Nelson Mandela, actually.
It's Marianne Williamson.
It's Marianne Williamson.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is she the original?
She's the original from Return to Love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela just used it.
Well, I think he used it, and then somebody gave me a plaque with it on there, and so that's where a lot of people think that it was Nelson Mandela, but it is Marianne Williamson said our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate, that our greatest fear that we are powerful beyond measure. Who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small is no longer serving the world. You were born to make manifest the glory of God that's within you. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, as we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I use that portal constantly.
Boom.
It's so profound, the impact that it has on people.
Well, it's confronting. This is confronting because the essence of it is, people are like, man, I'm struggling with anger. I'm struggling with fear. I'm struggling with doubt. I'm struggling with uncertainty. No, you're not. You're struggling with joy. You're struggling with inner peace. You're struggling with loving yourself. We live in a world, what's the greatest virus? The greatest virus is low self-esteem. And every human being goes through a journey of low self-esteem. And we all do. Yeah. And we all get triggered at different times where we're like, wow, feeling the need to be valued or valuable or validated by an external source. But the journey is like, wow, what does it mean to really love yourself? Accept yourself. Be compassionate. Be grateful for who you are as a human being. You're special. I just talk to you right now. Not only alone, like all the people watching, like you're beautiful, you're an amazing person, you're fabulous. Who are you not to be? You're playing small is no longer serving the world. So what's your freaking dream? Yeah. And so it seems like almost like cliche. It's like, wow, it's just like, what does it mean to go from having dreams to living dreams? And here's the thing, but I feel so grateful, and you have too. I've traveled all around the world. Yeah. And here we are, we live in this first world nation, and I've been to all these third world nations, and the aspect of the people that I've met are some of the happiest people I've ever met in my entire life. The look in their eye, the twinkle in their eye, their willingness to give and to serve is just natural. It doesn't matter, what you have or don't have. And hey, it's good to be able to have choice in different ways. Absolutely. We live in a unique world, and I love this country. At the same time, there's an aspect of living in this world right now where people are just struggling with the need to keep up with the Joneses and the struggle of that comparison, which ultimately perpetuates that subconscious thought virus of the mind where we get triggered into our own waking up anxious, not even leaving our bed because our mind is looping. Our heart is then being triggered into this reactive pattern. Now it's activating the limbic brain. Now we're in that reptilian reaction. Now I'm like, oh man, I got a stomach ache. I can't go to work. I can't go to school. Whatever it might be. We're in this pattern, power of a thought. Louise Hay said it. Everything begins with a thought. And a thought can be changed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what it is, everything begins with a thought, and a thought can be changed. And the powerful thing is, well, we've got up to 80,000 thoughts a day. And what's wild is, like, the National Institute
We're not even aware of all of them, right?
No.
Yeah.
70 to 90 are subconscious. Right. And the wild part is that 80% of our thoughts are negative. 80% of our thoughts are negative. 80% of them. Mm-hmm. And that's just the design of it. But if you think about a battery, the anode, the cathode, you think about the negative, the positive. Those negative thoughts aren't bad or wrong, they just feel bad and wrong. How is it that one is capable of embracing and facing the negative thoughts that create negative feelings, that create negative behaviors, that create negative relationships, that create negative habits, that create a negative life? Because we buy into it at face value. Our senses fake us out. Yeah. Our senses fake us out. Like, what would it mean to actually have a different relationship with that mindset that is automatically triggered into a negative pattern and pathway, a portal? What would it mean to be able to embrace it and face it and observe it and enter a space of the heart? And on one level, that's easier said than done, but you know what the reality is? It's really easy. Mm-hmm. And you know what it is. It's the truth question. The truth question enables us to change our relationship with our reactive limbic reptilian nervous system body behavior. Yeah. Truth question is what? You remember it?
I don't remember it.
If you could choose to create your life, if you could design it, if you could manifest, if you could blow out birthday candles and make a wish for the upcoming year, would you wish to be diagnosed with cancer? Would you wish to be in relationships where you're abused or rejected or feeling less than? Would you choose to create your life where you've got irritable bowel syndrome?
The answer is hell fucking no.
Hell fucking no. But you know what? These things happen, and they are happening. And unless we accept life, genuinely accept life, then we're in the world of denial. Yeah. And in the world of denial, we're in addiction. In the world of denial, we're going through the stages of grief. Mm-hmm. And so the aspect of asking the truth question all day long, would I choose this? Would I choose this? Would I choose this? And if there's any level, even a hangnail, let alone like, oh man, I'm gonna do like shit, like, or like, God, that was rude. Like, would I choose to attract somebody like that? Hell fucking no. Hell no, I would never choose it. And now here's the antidote here. Here's the remedy. What isn't an action is a reaction. What's not a conscious choice is a subconscious program. And so now we begin to understand, wait a second, every pain, fear, and stress is a program. Every one of them.
Yes.
And so what does that mean? It just means, how do you play like an instrument? How do you play your mind? Mm-hmm. How do you turn your mind into a tool for transformation and manifestation versus the mind for most human beings is the mind's a freaking tormentor. Mm-hmm. And when the mind is a tormentor, your mind thoughts are producing poison. I call it toxic mind syndrome. Mm-hmm. When we know what PMS, now we know what TMS is, right? Yeah. TMS is toxic mind syndrome. When we're driven by the negative thoughts and we buy into it as our identity. It isn't, but it happens. Now we become identified as the victimized child. Now we become identified as the part of ourself that is passive and avoidant, that it just don't see me, I'm gonna be invisible. Now we're identified by pleasing and proving and doing and fighting, right? Now we're identified by this, and we're in this cognitive distortion where we're driven by these negative thoughts and this pessimistic way of being, but at the core of it, brother love, at the core of it is in essence of a memory where there's an unmet need. We don't feel safe, we don't feel worthy, we don't have the ability to express ourselves, we don't feel like we're in control, we don't have freedom. Yeah. And when we're in this place of that unmet need, that memory that is locked in time and space, it's just locked in it. When we're in it, then after a while, that cognitive distortion, which is that limbic reptilian holding pattern, there is no choice, man. Mm-hmm. There is no choice. And when we can bridge the gap, when we can get to the core And it's so necessary to go, would I choose this? Such a stupid question, but it's that $1 million question that goes, no, I'm not fucking choosing this, but I'm experiencing it. Whatever the diagnosis is, whatever the symptom is, whatever the relationship, whatever the behavior is, change is a part of life. Everyone has the ability to change. Once you can process that memory, that need can be met. And when that need is met, we go from unable to process our memories to able to process our memories. Here's my humble opinion. My humble opinion is that the most powerful thing that a human being could ever learn how to do is process their emotions. The ability or inability to process emotions either sets us free or keeps us in the prison of our minds.
Yeah.
The ability. So once you can process that unmet need, now we're able to process emotions. And hold on a second.
Yeah.
Once we do that, then we enter a world of cognitive clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm down to earth, now I'm grounded, now I'm optimistic, and now I'm living in present time consciousness. And in that, I'm courageous, I'm confident, I'm committed, I'm capable of living a life that is authentic. And there is a journey of, like, what does it mean? How do I start? And there's a process of, like, first even realizing that there's anything that one could do in the first place. Because a lot of people don't even think there's anything I can do. Like, what the hell is the mind? What is it? Most people don't have this conversation, man.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But once that is, if the mind can be detoxified and those memories can be processed and those unmet needs can be met, those parts of ourselves evolve. Now the victimized child becomes the playful child. Now that avoidant part, that passive part, becomes one that creates healthy boundaries. Mm-hmm. Now that part that is a pleaser and approver becomes, instead of like doing, now I'm doing based upon who I am and my being.
Yeah.
And that's a high vibrational space. Once again, there's a journey, and it's a practice, not a perfect. It's a practice. And I'm not gonna pretend that I don't have pain, I don't have fear.
Yeah.
Pain and fear and stress is a part of life. But what if it was a portal?
Yeah.
What if it was a doorway?
You can transmute it.
You can transmute it, you can transform it, you can evolve, you can go from revolution to evolution.
So that means, do you think that you can change timelines before they even happen?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You not only can remember the past that has been programmed to protectively forget, not only can remember the past and integrate it and raise its vibration.
Right.
Like I had this one guy, and for loving gratitude. He was in he was going through therapy for years, and they didn't know what was going on. He was afraid of just hearing love. He couldn't even hear love, and ended up discovering that he was sexually abused by a priest.
Yeah.
And it came through. We were able to process it, and what was amazing is he was actually able to have a healthy litigation and move forward in his life as a result. That was amazing. He was able to process something that he didn't even know was buried so deeply in. But what you were saying is change the timeline. And this is, can you step into the future and remember the future?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can imprint and plant seeds in the future and bring them back to the present. For sure.
Right.
It's profound.
Right.
You know, what's my healthiest, wealthiest, most confident version of myself? For sure.
Right.
For sure.
Be that what you wish to attract.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Right. Whatever it is that you want is only on the other side of the subconscious mind.
Yeah. Well, the subconscious mind here's the conscious mind. That's what we're perceiving right now. Here's the subconscious mind. It's the iceberg that's below the surface. And the subconscious mind is the bridge between the conscious and the divine. Mm-hmm. Right? And right now, human beings they use the subconscious mind to create perception. At one point, we will live in a world where the subconscious mind will evolve itself out, where we won't have subconscious minds anymore, that we will get direct information as divine downloads. Yeah. It's happening. There are more and more people. This is an amazing time to be alive. As insane as this, and it's insane. It's an insane world. It's an insane world. It's so insane. And for loving gratitude, it's so sad. And for loving gratitude, I would never choose to feel sad, but it is sad. Yeah. It is sad. It's frustrating. It makes me angry. It's upsetting. Some of the things that are happening in this world.
So here's the thing with that. Life is perception, right?
Sure.
Where life is perception, some people perceive doing evil things as love. They enjoy it. So in that, since love is the highest vibration, it changes the energy flow. What happens with a person who perceives hurting others and finds fulfillment and joy and thinks that's love?
Well, here's the thing. We, as human beings, do not perceive the truth. We perceive what we believe. What is a belief? A belief is a thought that repeats itself. So, where do beliefs come from? I learned something and now I believe it. I was taught, I experienced something and now I believe it. So, not all beliefs are true. Not all beliefs, what we once experienced might have, like a book is like, here's the 6th edition. Things evolve, right? But we don't perceive truth. So perception, we are fooled by our senses. So someone could say like, oh, I'm hurting people in the name of love. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry. That is not true. Love doesn't hurt people in the,
right.
Here's a twist. Go into nature. And, a lion who's hunting a gazelle doesn't go and mow down all the gazelles. It's like there's a contract between that particular gazelle and it's part of the ecology and the ecosystem of it. It's different. When someone is actually attempting to hurt someone, they're not attempting to hurt a gazelle.
Yeah.
They're surviving. They're in a place of it's an ecosystem. They don't have grocery stores.
Yeah.
Right. It's the nature of the world that they're part of. So when someone is in a mindset of hurting someone, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever that might be, that is a memory that is caught, that is not fully integrated yet. And that memory, when it gets triggered, boom, it's like a landmine.
Yeah.
It gets charged, and now I'm reacting. Think about that word, reacting. It has R-E. So it looks like an action, it's not. It's got the R-E.
Yeah.
And so it's not an original, it's an RNA. And so it's a copy. It's a copy, it's not an original. And so when we get to the original memory that is keeping that mean behavior towards someone, towards the self, whatever. Like people know that addiction, whatever it might be, they know it's bad. They know that they're ruining the most important things in their life as a result of it. They know it, but they can't control it because it's limbic reptilian. It hasn't reached neocortical yet. So when we get to that ultimate memory, as soon as we do it, we process that in an I am way.
Yeah.
And then so what we do in the LifeLine, we teach people how to set intention. We teach people, as a result, how to make a relationship in the present, past, and future. We teach people how to create a relationship with their body and raise the vibration of their cellular memory from there and then to here and now to the futurist, highest vision of oneself. There's a whole other essence. But perception is the wild card, brother love.
Yeah.
It is. It's a wild card.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you think we've got a jury of 12? Because everyone's perception is uniquely like, hey, are you biased? If there's a Jewish person, a black person, a woman, are you biased? Like, well, I am. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Right? That's because perception is a wild card. We don't perceive the truth. So when you say, hey, people perceive themselves in a loving way when they hurt people, I call bullshit on that.
Yeah. That's just, I call it a thought virus.
Yeah, it's a thought virus.
Right.
Trigger limiting, that's a killer. It's a Gemini thought virus for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have an event that you're actually hosting and putting together right now that deals with cancer. I want you to talk about that and explain what your intention is and what you're trying to do with this new venture.
Yeah, it's a powerful event. It's called Thank God for Cancer. And that is quite a statement because if a person's been diagnosed or a loved one of a person's been diagnosed, that's a hard journey. And the reason why I'm doing this event is 8 months ago, one of my best friends was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Metastasized to the lymph, metastasized to the bone. 8 months later, she's thriving. And she's been doing, well, she didn't do chemotherapy, radiation. This isn't about telling people what to do or not to do. It isn't about this. But what we realized and what impacted her was that she understands the LifeLine and she used particular understandings of her mind so that no matter what she did it in a focusing way. And we felt that it was our obligation to share this with people. And in one of the sessions, I was like, to her, I'm like, thank God for cancer. And she like looked at me in a startled way, because like, what an insane statement that is.
Gratitude is love in action.
Gratitude is love in action, but it's a thank God for cancer. Check the muscle for love and gratitude. Because if we can get to a state of gratitude, we've learned the lesson. When we can get to a state of gratitude, we've learned the lesson. So that was such a deep part of the transformation that she went through, and I've helped a lot of other people walk the path. It's not about not doing something or doing something. I say get your dream team together.
Yeah.
But Thank God for Cancer is something that we're doing on June 22nd. It's a free event, and we're going to be teaching some really amazing tools that will really empower
How
people.
can they get involved? Where do they go? How can they get a hold of you?
Well, they can just go to my website.
Right, what's your website?
Which is thelifelineCenter.com. ThelifelineCenter.com.
Yeah. And they can find you on Instagram too, right?
Sure.
Right. And what's your Instagram tag?
Dr. Darren Weissman.
Easy, right?
Right, Dr. Darren Weissman. So, but the LifelineCenter.com will have information about Thank God for Cancer. And we just want to empower people, because that word. I was talking to my son about it today. He's born in June, and so his astrological sign is Cancer, and we're just talking about just that word is such a trigger for people. You see somebody who's bald, you see someone with a pink ribbon, all these different things. You think about chemotherapy, radiation. There's so many triggers. I was given the blessing and the honor to speak at the University of Miami Medical School some years back. And one of the things when I woke with LifeLine Technique was I thought, what? I'm not going to be speaking at the FDA. I'm not going to be speaking at the AMA. That's just not my gig. I'm going to just speak to people who resonate with this type of consciousness. And then I got invited by a lead medical doctor that works for University of Miami Medical School to speak there. And I was nervous, and I had a dream the night before, and the dream was all these bridges, walking bridges, bicycle bridges, train bridges, plane bridges, car bridges, all these different bridges. And then I woke up, I'm like, oh, now I know why I'm going there. I'm there to create a bridge. A bridge is a structure that allows us two sides that would not meet come together.
That gives me goosebumps.
Right, so I get there, and I had done study about what they're known for, and I got up there and I'm like, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to connect with you all. I know that people travel from all over the world to be treated for cardiovascular disease and cancer. I'm like, here's my background as a holistic chiropractor, acupuncturist, developer of the LifeLine Technique. I help people process memories, emotions that are keeping them stuck in reactive patterns on a subconscious level. How can I help you? And then I shut up, and I didn't say anything. And it was an awkward silence for a little bit. And then one of the medical doctors said, well, we put people on these medical treatments, and our patients lose their will to live. What do you do for this? And now I have a green light.
Right.
Now I'm like, okay, now I can talk about what I do.
Right.
And so then I explained it. They're like, oh, okay, wow. But it's like, to talk to somebody about something that somebody's not ready to do it, it doesn't matter. But somebody has to want to do something about it, whatever it might be.
Ready, willing, and able, and eager.
Ready, willing, able, and eager.
Yeah.
For sure. So the essence of this program, which is a free program called Thank God for Cancer, we're Sharon Faw, who was the woman that was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Her and I were talking. We're like, it's so imperative that we share some basic tools on how to stay present, so that with family, with loved ones, with yourself, so that you can make the best decision possible. It's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. And the state of our consciousness, once again, perception, makes such a big difference. It makes such a big difference. And so we're really excited and honored to make a positive impact for people that are, so many people these days are being diagnosed with cancer and for a multitude of different reasons. And whatever the reason is, there's a way through it. And the technology that's going on in our world today is better than ever, but also our mind technology is better than ever.
Yeah.
And it's really important to be able to understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you're going to make a big difference with this event.
Yeah.
And you make a big difference in everybody's life.
Well,
You've changed mine. I wouldn't be the doctor I am without you.
I'm so grateful, brother. And way to rock it out in your life. I mean, you're really doing an amazing thing.
You've been an amazing mentor to me.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you.
Well, thanks, brother.
All right. Love you, brother.
Hey, I love you too.
All right. Guys.
Hey.
There we go.